Yes, sir.
Video, give your video.
Right. So, continuing with the sentence. The object, a tree, was the recipient of an action planted which was performed by the subject here.
Madam, video is not coming.
Clear to all the learners now?
Video.
नमस्कार प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, अभिभावकों, शिक्षकों, प्रधानाचार्य और तमाम वैसे शिक्षक जो विद्यालय से या उच्च शिक्षा से जुड़े हुए हैं। आप सब सुन रहे होंगे कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी लगातार पूरे देश के स्वास्थ्य के विषय में चिंतित हैं। आपको ऐसा शायद लगता होगा कि शिक्षा के विषय में क्या हो रहा है। मैं आपसे साझा करना चाहूंगा कि प्रधानमंत्री स्वयं हमारे माननीय मंत्री श्री रमेश पोखरियाल निशंक जी के साथ मिलकर के बात कर रहे हैं और वो चिंतित हैं कि हमारे विद्यार्थियों के पढ़ने लिखने और उनके परीक्षा का क्या होगा। समस्याओं का समाधान हो रहा है और तमाम ऐसी चीजें की गई हैं जिसके माध्यम से आप शिक्षा से जुड़ सकते हैं। सेंट्रल बोर्ड फॉर सेकेंडरी एजुकेशन सीबीएसई ने अपने तमाम पोर्टल डेवलप किए हैं। दीक्षा पर आप जाएं, दीक्षा पर सारा मटेरियल रखा गया है विद्यार्थियों के लिए, शिक्षकों के लिए। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग सारा पाठ्यक्रम स्वयं प्लेटफॉर्म पर रखा है जो आप पढ़ सकते हैं और स्वयं प्रभा पर तमाम ऐसे लेक्चर्स सुनाए जा रहे हैं जिसको आप सुनेंगे तो आपके पाठ्यक्रम से संबंधित आपको ज्ञान मिलेगा। और ये सारे चैनल लाइव डीटीएच चैनल स्वयं प्रभा पर आ रहे हैं जो आप देख सकते हैं। इन सब के बारे में विस्तृत से जानकारी NIOS के वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर रखा गया है।
Just a minute, madam. Continue, madam.
Is the screen visible now?
Yes, madam. Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay. So we were discussing where exactly we need to use the passive voice. Okay. First, if the object is more important than the subject. I hope the concept of subject and object is clear to all of you now. So if we need to focus on the object rather than the subject, that is where we would use the passive voice. Secondly, if the subject is not known, in some circumstances, we do not know who the doer is. Again, in such cases, we use the passive voice. Thirdly, if the subject is obvious and does not need to be pointed out. Now, there are situations when everybody knows who the doer is and it is really pointless to mention who must be doing the work. There also we use the passive voice. We will take one example each of these three situations. First, if the object is more important than the subject, that is where we use the passive voice. For example, the authorities renovated the old hotel recently. The authorities renovated the old hotel recently. In place of writing the authorities renovated the old hotel recently, it would be more justifiable if we write the old hotel was renovated recently. Here, the focus is not on who did the renovation, that is not really important. What is important here is that the old hotel was renovated. So here we would use the passive voice where the focus is on the old hotel and its renovation, that means the verb, rather than who the doer was. Secondly, if the subject is not known to us, there also we will use the passive voice. Sometimes, for example, this sentence, someone stole my wallet yesterday. Someone stole my wallet yesterday. Now here, what is important for me? That my wallet was stolen. I do not know who stole my wallet. So, in place of saying that someone stole my wallet yesterday, it would be better if I just say my wallet was stolen yesterday. So, here again, the passive voice takes precedence over active voice. My wallet was stolen yesterday. I do not know who the thief was. Third, if the subject is obvious and does not need to be pointed out. As I explained earlier, let's take a scenario. The police arrested the pickpocket yesterday. I hope it was the same pickpocket who stole my wallet. The police arrested the pickpocket yesterday. In place of saying this, if I say the pickpocket was arrested yesterday, the meaning is equally clear. Why? Because it is obvious that the police must have done the work of arresting the pickpocket. It is the police who arrest the thieves and the pickpockets and the antisocial elements of society. So there is no real need of mentioning that it was the police who did the work of arresting. So I can simply say this sentence in passive voice. The pickpocket was arrested yesterday. There are two more cases where the passive is widely used. One is in scientific or academic reports or publications. These are primarily written in passive voice to maintain a tone of objectivity. जब कोई एकेडमिक या साइंटिफिक रिसर्च हो रहा है तो वहां पे क्या फाइंडिंग हुए वो ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट होते हैं, क्या स्टेप्स अपनाए गए वो ज़रूरी होते हैं, और किस रिजल्ट पे हम पहुंचे वो ज़रूरी होता है. तो वहां पे हम पैसिव वॉइस का अगर यूज़ करते हैं तो वो बेटर है. This is because it does not put particular focus on individual perspective, but instead looks at the actions undertaken as well as the result. So here also the passive voice is a better option to be used. For example, a new vaccine has been developed for the virus. Now here we can deduce that the scientists must have developed a new vaccine for a virus, but that who exactly did the invention or the discovery, it's not really important. What is important here is that a new vaccine has been developed for the virus. So for scientific reports or publications, we can use the passive voice. Secondly, many authors use it as a tool in fiction writing. In particular, mystery writers are big fans of the passive voice since it allows them to conceal secrets within their story. I'm sure all of you must be fond of reading detective stories and stories where we don't know who the culprit or the doer is. There also passive voice plays a very important role. For example, if the sentence is, "The treasure was hidden centuries ago." Now this creates an aura of mystery around the sentence. It may have been hidden by the Vikings or the pirates or the government even. So the treasure was hidden centuries ago. So to create mystery where we do not need to mention who the doer of the action was, there also we can use the passive voice. So I hope this answers the learner's question. The question was, when should we use passive voice? So which are the scenarios where we use the passive voice? Where the subject is not as important as the object, or in other words, the object is more important than the subject. Where the subject is not known. Third, where the subject is so obvious that it is not necessary to